I wanted to take a few minutes, and this is going to be a very short video compared to what I normally upload, and talk about why I think that Navi's out of the tournament and why Synchronic advanced in a commanding way. So it's going to actually start rewinding time just a little bit over the past several big tournaments and qualifier events in hard mode and things like that. The most popular attacks by far have been Warden charge type attacks like Fireball Lalo or the double hero charge, or anything where you're charging the Warden with healers in any way, even without the Fireball. And like Super Witch attacks, right? Which I guess even charges the Warden a little bit on that one too. So any type of Warden charge attack where the Warden becomes like the centerpiece of the attack has been by far the most popular attack, and it's because he's just the strongest hero in the game right now. Maybe a little OP. Excuse me. Because of that, because that's been the most common form of attack, going into this tournament, I'm sure all of the teams built their bases around countering those strategies specifically. And then you end up with bases like this. Now I'm going to break this base down just a little bit. What you get in order to counter the Fireball and to counter those types of Warden charge smash attacks is you get like these ring of defenses that kind of go around the outside of the base. And now these defenses around the outside of the base are spread out just enough so that like if you Fireball any single defense, you don't really get like a great Fireball, right? What this forces players to do is one of two things. Settle for a mediocre Fireball on the outside of the base, like maybe this Ricochet Cannon, and then you'll get the Wizard Tower in the air defense. Not great. Or do a longer Warden Walk and be riskier and try and get a massive Fireball in the middle of the base. Now, just to make things a little bit more simple, I'm not going to include Klaus's very last attack in the analysis today because I think he just kind of threw it away and just tried to do something fun. I don't think he took it very seriously. His attack didn't matter at that point. They had already lost. 7 of the 9 attacks that Navi did today were Warden charge based. Whether that's the Fireball or Yada's Super Witch attack that failed in the first attack. And so the bases that Synchronic and MTFY had built to counter those kinds of strategies, where you get like this moat around the middle of the base with the compact core that make funneling hard. And we saw that's what got Gaku in this attack was the funnel. It really paid off for them. Now, where it really works out for Synchronic and MTFY, even though they failed one attack, is but put a pin in that real quick. So the 2 attacks that Navi did that just were, they crushed the bases were the Sui Lalo from Klaus and the Zap Lalo from Stars. Those ones, they wrecked the base. They looked pretty good. They had a lot of loons left over at the end. So the attacks that they did that were not meta and countered by these meta bases did really well. I wish they'd have done more of that. But the second thing, Synchronic offensively just out-prepared both of the other teams, I think by a mile. They came out with this incredible new E-Titan spam smash army that just, other than Einstein's one attack where it was pretty close, it seemed like they just walked every base in hard mode. And I think even one person, I can't remember who it was, swagged 4 spells that were, 2 of them were rages. So it's like 6 spell space, which is nuts in hard mode. MTFY also prepared really well. They did a few E-Dragon attacks and some other attacks that weren't like Warden charge based as well. I think that's kind of the overarching reason, I think, why Navi's out of the tournament so early and Synchronic advanced in a commanding lead into the final day, is I think that they just prepared offensively a little bit better than Navi did. It seems like Navi should have prepared some attacks that were not commonly used, so they were countered by the bases, because if you think about it, right, there's a lot of mind games into going into building bases. You're trying to counter the most common thing, the thing that your opponents are going to use the most. And so Synchronic and MTFY, they obviously got the better of Navi on a couple of attacks. I'm not including Klaus's, by the way. I don't think he really tried super hard his last attack. Maybe he did. I don't know. But it was kind of a goofy army. Navi, yeah, they just 7 of their 9 attacks, so over 70% of their attacks were that really common Warden charge type style attack, and eventually that's what did them in. They just made a small mistake on a couple of attacks, and now they're out of the tournament. I know this video is probably not super exciting, but I feel like you guys as fans probably want to know at least a little bit of why they're out early and Synchronic is doing really well. I think Synchronic just really prepared really well. They hit an attack from the world for who knows how long they've had this in their back pocket, right? But they whipped it out at the perfect time and they crushed through day one. Who knows if they'll continue to use it in the final day? That'll be interesting to see. Because if they do, I'm sure that the other teams that will be facing them that day are trying to come up with ways to counter that now, right? That's going to be part of the thing. Maybe they showed this attack and they're going to come up with something different on the last day. We'll have to wait and find out. It'll be kind of exciting to see. But there is a whole meta behind building bases to counter specific strategies. There is no base that's going to hard counter every strategy really well. And so you have to plan to defend better against certain attacks and maybe have weaknesses towards other attacks. And I think Navi failed in that area. Synchronic did really well, obviously, because they just absolutely, like, it kind of blew my mind when I saw that attack just start crushing all the bases in hard mode. So good job, Synchronic. You guys definitely prepared really well. I'm excited to see you guys on the final day. Kind of bummed that Navi's out already. They're obviously really fun to watch, and they're definitely a fan favorite team, but we'll see them around. They're not going anywhere. But anyway, that's going to do it. I will still continue to cover finals and things. I can't obviously cast it because it's a Supercell event where they have people they choose for that. But I'll keep updating you guys and giving you guides for the new cool armies, and then maybe make videos like this if you guys take it well, right? Obviously, if you don't want to see this kind of stuff, I'm done, all right? Don't have to tell me twice. But I'll see you guys next time.